The team came together as a whole. Eager against SoaR was pretty rough. We'll get into picks and bans for game number 2 and see how SoaR adapts.
Jigz under the tower, doesn't get any stuns, but we don't need stuns. We've got damage. Hurriwind catches 2 in the current.
Andy coming back in, looking for the feather step. Immediately Eagles rally. Andy will not get the kill. Baskin survives, and now they're diving for Baskin potentially hit. But Blink forbid him, and they're trying to force his enemy. This is a mistake because Homiefe double kill.
Right off the bat, SoaR goes ahead and they get first pick, first ban. Anything you want to see adjusted as far as the bans from SoaR?
They need to figure out a way to deal with Eager's aggression, and the easiest way I would say is to establish themselves with some global pressure, whether it's the Thor on Homie or the Giannis on Hurriwind.
SoaR going to stick to the target bans on Eager. Kumbhakarna certainly a strong choice, and Eager look like they're just going to stick to their standard bans. It doesn't matter who Eager are playing, they're banning out this Thor and this Naja.
It's very safe bans. You don't want to deal with the Thor. If you don't have first pick and you don't want to pick Thor, then just get it off the table and start doing their homework. DJ plays a lot of Circuit.
Yep.
Not going to allow that to happen.
Which is funny, considering the game he just had on Kali was slightly above average. I don't think he completely carried the game, but that was all well and good. We're still more afraid of the Circuit.
Sobek now going to be allowing a lot of aggression in the duo lane for Jigz and Metyankey.
Jigz has a strong Sobek as well. I think Khepri is sort of the quintessential Jigz character, but Sobek definitely a god that Jigz has been successful on. Jigz really is the backbone for this SoaR team. I feel like he just brings so much dependability, and Eager are ready to first pick the new god, Jing.
Jing being introduced by Zapman earlier on in the week as well. He had a dominant performance as well. Scylla being picked up from TheBest. He did wonderfully the last game. Why not run it back again, trying to find that mid to late game damage. We'll see how DJ pairs this up.
Scylla, again, it's just, this is a god from TheBest. This is the quintessential best god. SoaR, I want to see how they respond here. Anything particular that's going to keep Jing at bay?
Nothing in particular, because every time you poke her out, she'll just come back within 10 to 15 seconds anyway. So you're just going to have to burst her down and kill her. If you don't kill her, she'll come back. And with that, Sobek and Awilix, really good synergy between those two.
And I love the Awilix pick as well, because not only the Sobek and Awilix is this one very classic combination as Raijin, why not pick it? Hurriwind definitely a big part of last game. Not only is the Sobek Awilix already good by itself, end of story. But Jing, sort of what she does is if she knocks herself up, that's where she's going to find her attack speed steroid. Huge amounts of attack speed coming out from stepping on your own whirlwind, and Awilix is going to be able to punish that very strongly.
As well as Scylla, if she ever uses her third ability to escape, as she's escaping, so that dog going to get pulled right back in.
Yeah, Sentinel actually. It's tough to catch, but you totally can catch the Scylla. And once Sentinel's already down, I mean, what is Scylla planning on doing? Osiris will be the selection for Team Eager. As we see Ares going to be the guardian of choice one more time for Eager. No real surprise there coming out from Aror, just staying on the aggressive nature of his character.
Going to be playing very aggressive, similar to the way he did the first game. This is the staple of the way Aror likes to play, which will set up the rest of his team in a good spot into the mid game, especially when you have TheBest on Scylla and you have a Jing on Zap trying to farm for the most part.
The Apollo ban coming out from Team Eager. Little interesting here. I mean, Metyankey played it well. Why really force the Apollo ban here?
The Apollo ban, so if Jing is going to be farming, you don't want to have the counter farm. Jing wants to keep the enemy hunter in the lane. And if it's Apollo in the lane, then he'll just rotate anyway with his ultimate. But if it's somebody that doesn't have global presence, then you're forcing a 4v4 on one side.
So Jing you can think of as having semi-global presence because of the passive.
In a way, yeah. You can easily, play aggressive, back, rotate to the opposite side of the map if it's late game Fire Giant or mid to late game.
Yeah, interesting stuff coming out from
And it's very difficult to invade Eager's jungle now as a response. Jing can easily get to the solo lane jungle.
Amaterasu going to be the selection for Baskin. I love Amaterasu on players like Baskin, and Benji always comes to mind, but Baskin, Amaterasu's a fighter. She wants to be in the middle of the team fight, doing exactly what we saw Ravin do, but she's able to provide that aura for her teammates. Love this character choice on a player like Baskin, who always wants to be front and center in the enemy's fight.
Baskin plays very well in the mid to late game. We'll see how he adapts to the early game pressure from Vamana. Going to struggle a little bit more than likely, but once maxing out the aura online, going to have the sustain and the mobility to join the team fights. It's going to be a huge impact for SoaR.
Yeah, Amaterasu basically just loses until level 9, and then she's able to instantly clear the wave. So a little bit of adjustment from SoaR. They're going to change their composition up very much so. Sobek and Awilix should prove to be a very powerful combination. Will it be enough to take down the second recurrence of Kali on djpernicus? Let's take a look.
It just wasn't enough. DJ closing the gap there into the sash. This game was dead even less than 5 minutes ago, and now it's 2 Phoenixes and a triple root from TheBest. Crush coming through, and that's going to be another kill.
Zapman's now in trouble as well. He will ricochet for a double kill!
One of my favorite things about that pre-roll clip is that Zapman gets that. You can tell that the land shot of Zapman wasn't right after that play, because after that triple ricochet from Zapman, he goes ahead and he dies. They catch up to him. But you know Zapman is standing up, screaming, maybe throwing something, right? That's a play that Zapman gets excited about.
He's getting excited about it, but he's not showing it actually in the land. He's very calm and collected during the game. After the game, he's going to be showing off a lot. But during the game, no, he's always thinking about the next step and the next objective, and that's what makes him so dominant in the pro scene for so long, because he doesn't let his emotions overcarry him.
Different story for Divios and Aror, honestly. These guys are always yelling and screaming. djpernicus, not always the loud guy, but he's certainly willing to dish something back at you mid-game.
Coming back from Counter-Strike 1.6, yeah, there's always a lot of trash talk from there, so transitioning that to a little bit of Smite scene. We saw that at the COG Gears of Fate Invitational LAN. A lot of DJ and Aror.
SoaR, on the other hand, kind of quiet. We've seen these guys individually at LAN for the most part. Baskin, not exactly the loud guy. Homiefe, quite very shy. I'm very interested to see how these guys work out at LAN, and if that sort of quiet nature will really hurt them.
And so we see the early clear coming out of the Jing already. Once he gets level 2, he's going to get the explosive bolts.
What do you expect from SoaR at LAN? Because, like I said, both of these teams really fighting for footing to go ahead and get their place at DreamHack. If SoaR make it to LAN, what are you really expecting out of these guys? Because, as I said, this is the first time they're going to make it there as a unit.
It's going to be a test for them to see how they mesh as a team, because it's different playing online versus going to a LAN together. They've had experiences hanging out at a LAN quite often, but never playing together at the stage. So we'll see how they just adapt to that.
Yeah, Eager, the three of the COG guys have played together. Zapman dashes away. Well played.
So I like the idea behind picking up agility at level 2 here. Even though he gets plucked out, can use that agility in the mid-air, so there's no potential for follow-up damage from Metyankey as a response.
Yeah, it's going to be a good move for Zapman to take advantage of that. But again, looking directly at the Awilix, it's up to Homiefe to punish this Jing pick specifically, and pretty much some of the other characters on Eager. But again, Homiefe definitely should be paying a lot of attention to this duo lane, because Jing very vulnerable to the pull.
Very vulnerable to the pull, so Homie's going to look for that at level 5. A little bit of a poke exchange in the early game between Divios and Baskin, favoring Divios up until Baskin starts maxing out that aura. That wave going under the tower, that's going to hurt Baskin a little bit.
Yeah, and again, this is expected. You're not supposed to win this. How do you, because I say this a number of times because a number of pros have brought this to me totally. It's not always about winning the lane in Soul, and sometimes it's about losing gracefully. Can you explain that a little bit?
It's about mitigating the losses that you can do. You don't take too much poke damage during laning phase, and you try to transition that by getting the gold from the archers. Right now, Baskin's getting forced under tower like we see here. However, he's going to be able to clear the archers.
So just taking a little bit of poke and not really taking any more than you absolutely need to. But look at the aggression coming out from the guys on Eager. djpernicus already sticking his nose in SoaR's jungle. Nothing to be found, but still just looking.
And that's something that we know to expect out of DJ. He's looking for that aggression, stunning Homiefe out of Suku, just trading a little bit of poke.
And
pops the potion in response to the damage also.
Yeah, djpernicus certainly not in line to deal with that damage from Homiefe.
Very brave holding on to that ultimate for so long. Uses the purification in response to the taiko drums, but recognizes, I'll survive that 4th hit.
Yeah,
Good calculation. I wish he had that last game.
Yeah, very much so. DJ found his first 2 deaths on the Kali without using the ultimate. That time around, safely out of there. But yeah, Kali fighting the Awilix early on. That's going to go to Awilix almost every time, huh?
In the early game, especially with the Feather Step having an 8-second cooldown, if you eat 2 of those, you're going to take a lot of damage. He was expecting that also, popping the health potion preemptively before the Feather Step happened. However, he didn't take into consideration that Hurriwind was right around the corner.
And as soon as he came, you know, like we saw, DJ just forced out. Good rotations coming out from SoaR, able to mitigate the damage dealt to their jungler. Well played.
And Jigz in the mid lane trying to set up a potential pull for Homiefe, as actually he's going to go into the speed buffs as the left side mid harpies do spawn as well. Jigz all alone. He could be potentially aggressive on as the rest of Eager are trying to find him around the corner.
Here's the pincer. DJ from the right, Aror from the left, chained out, so Jigz will force into the ultimate. Half HP, but he'll be safe.
So what Jigz was trying to do was allow Eager to start those left side mid harpies and potentially steal it, while the rest of his team was grabbing their own speed and blue buff. It's also very annoying because for SoaR, because you have to alleviate the pressure from Divios because he has Wrath early on, so there's a lot of steal potential from him.
I like the adjustment that SoaR have made in this game. As soon as that speed buff spawned, they made sure that they were there. Not to contest it, but take it for themselves because they understand, looking at game number 1, Eager stripped away their jungle for the first 3 rotations.
It's very important whenever you have an early game Kali that's able to make those plays. Normally, you lack a little bit of pressure. Solo lanes trade a little bit of ultimates as there's a couple aggressive rotations out of Eager. If SoaR's recognize this, they could potentially force out a Gold Fury.
Yeah, Roar's here, not going to be able to find the kill as he doesn't have Blink, got the purification early on. Now there's the... We heard it from ShadowQ talking a little bit when Denial went up against an Awilix play. When you see the Sobek Awilix, or even just the Awilix, a lot of what the game plan is for SoaR here is to sort of take out the support, right? Really focus, not necessarily focus the support, but find a lot of kills out of the support because you're capitalizing off the fact that the support didn't build purification. So in turn, Eager go ahead and build that purification to sort of mitigate whatever Homiefe is trying to deal out.
It's a good build coming out of Aror. It's going to allow him to be super aggressive going in, but then he's still going to have the escape option away from Awilix once the Sobek counter initiates. You got to have the offensive and defensive mindset. That's something that Eager's been doing very consistently.
So at level 12, we'll probably see the blink come out of Aror, just like at level 12, we'll see the teleport come out of Divios.
More than likely, unless they're so far ahead that they don't need teleport, that they could just take advantage, maybe getting a curse to limit some of the healing coming out of Baskin, Jigz, and Metyankey, or maybe an early sprint if nobody else from Eager has one.
SoaR with the better positioning here in the mid lane. Going to be looking for Zapman, ultimate out of Xbalanque. Zapman activates the ult and walks directly towards the opposition. Not going to get stunned out, but here's the ult and the knockup. Zapman in some trouble. Purification doesn't work, and it's going to be first blood going the way of SoaR.
Playing a little bit aggressive out of position, SoaR capitalizing on that. And with that first blood, SoaR's going to look to maybe start up Gold Fury as Baskin did make the rotation, and Divios doesn't have teleport. He's dashing on in.
And that's the adjustment that SoaR makes to Divios not having the teleport, making these early game rotations that Divios just can't respond to. Baskin's able to show up. The best is going to use the ultimate, but it won't do enough damage to Jigz as the Crocodile gets out of there.
Eager has to be so careful about now. They cannot lose anybody on the left-hand side of the map, considering the fact that Divios does not have the teleport.
Very well played by SoaR. Just again, when these teams play, the difference between the top end teams and middle of pack teams is the attention to detail and the consistent strategy that's employed by these guys. That was a specific kill from SoaR. They focused the duo lane, not necessarily knowing that Zapman would be out of position, but they focus the dual lane, knowing that if they get the kill, they have the numbers advantage because Divios just can't respond.
And now Divios responding with the blue buff steal with the Raft, taking advantage of that relic for now, and he needs to find ways to be able to snowball this little lead that he could potentially exploit by having the Raft. But we have a 1v1 on the left-hand side.
Zapman with the knockup on himself, dashing away. Very low is the Eager Hunter, and a couple more basics, and Metyankey finds the 1v1 kill. 2 kills for SoaR in that many minutes. And first blood came in 6 minutes. SoaR found a second kill in 7, and Metyankey winds up with a stack on that Xbalanque.
A little bit of mistimed timing from Zapman. His ultimate just came up as he died in that situation, not having it for the escape. Also, going back into his wing gust earlier on, kind of mispositioned himself.
Yeah, so when you jump into that persistent gust, you wind up giving yourself an attack speed boon, but don't forget you're knocked up, which means you can't attack or really follow up. And that's exactly what SoaR's going to do underneath the tower. Follow up, Homiefe gets the kill onto Divios, and SoaR doing their best Eager impression now, being incredibly aggressive. Zapman going to get pulled out of the air. That's the punishment we were talking about. Airstrike will be used to save the hunter, the life of the hunter, and now the turnaround. Eager answer back with their first kill of the game. Aror with chains on top of Homiefe. There's the ultimate, looking for the grab to get pulled. Zapman gonna follow up, but the ultimate out of the best is not in time. And SoaR able to escape for the moment, but Aror finds another kill. 2 kills for Eager, 2 kills for Aror.
djpernicus yet again dying with his ultimate. Very unfortunate timing. He needed to get that off right before the burst happened.
Yep.
He would have potentially been able to heal back off after getting the targets, securing his own speed, then maybe getting the tier 1 tower.
Sure, for me, I'm more concerned about the timing out of the best's ultimate. Was not expecting the pull from the Ares to actually work out. The ultimate comes out of the sheath a little bit late, which means the deployment is also late, just off the money. If you're that Scylla, we've seen Best do it a number of times, so just dropping the ball in this particular play. But if you're that Scylla, you have to be almost expecting the pull and pull the trigger before the enemy gets pulled.
And you have to be expecting the aggression coming out of Hurriwind and Homiefe, just barely able to get away from both mid laners.
4-2 read the kill after that last exchange. SoaR still up on top, but just barely. 300 gold separate the teams, so it's all even essentially. Well, 160, excuse me, Graph Man. Very close is Eager to SoaR as we approach 10 minutes.
And considering the fact that SoaR got the earlier Gold Fury and Eager's able to capitalize on that is a good staple. The fact that they used the Jing passive to defend that speed buff was really important.
SoaR got the Gold Fury and have 2 kills above Eager, including First Blood. How are they tied?
Right now, it's a little bit dependent on the solo lane. You looked at the way earlier on during the laning phase, the Vamana was able to bully the Amaterasu earlier on, able to take away some blue buffs as well, and not able to get punished for it in response.
Divios now level 12, can back and get the teleport, so what SoaR was able to do very intelligently early on won't be as harshly punished if that teleport does come online. Zapman going to take the sky with the ultimate, goes right over the wall. And that'll put him safely amongst his teammates. Homiefe still giving chase, but not able to find it. And here comes Aror dealing with Baskin as he invade onto SoaR's blue buff is successful, but here's the counter initiation. Hurriwind deals a ton of damage, and Jig's able to find the kill onto Aror, but here comes DJ. Kill on a Hurriwind, so that's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Baskin in some trouble. Jig's trying to find the best, won't be able to. And now Divios up in the big baby, mitigating a lot of this damage while DJ's able to escape on the backside. Ultimate from Baskin finds not the stun, but the damage onto the best, and the follow-up from Metyankey is good enough. Get another kill for Xbalanque.
So far, it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade as Metyankey does fall. DJ's going to use his ultimate on the tower. Zapman using Purification. Homie is thinking about going in as Baskin's going to put pressure on the tower. Now, the way that started off with the blue buff invade was really well done by Eager. Unfortunately, Aror getting caught out of position. He could have used his ultimate in preparation during the Taiku drums, not utilizing the CC immunity form there. That could have potentially turned that team fight around completely.
Possible, but not the case. So SoaR wind up on top of the team fight, still leading by about 3 kills, but still, everything all even as far as the gold is concerned. Zapman gonna find Jigz caught in the jungle. Look at that play right there. Knock up on knock up. Not gonna chase too far, so Eager restricted in their aggression here.
Vamana on the bottom side, though, cleaning up the kill. Really important ward that Zapman killed top side, not allowing Baskin to group up with Jigz, who had barely any mana to escape.
Divios goes ahead and invades the enemy speed buff, gets it with the Wrath. So another good play coming out from Eager, utilizing that Wrath a lot. We've seen this relic come out a couple of times, and sometimes it's used as a gimmick. Sometimes it sort of isn't used as powerful. The Wrath actually won't secure the speed buff. Goes the way of SoaR.
SoaR able to get the speed buff, and now Kali getting her own speed buff as well. Hurriwind hitting level 11 right now, as Best has been level 11 for a little bit. Looking at the item builds for the mid laners, Best is looking for more of a bursty-oriented style going Doomer. However, with the defense style from Raijin, you're able to go on in aggressively, absorbing some cooldown, surviving against the Kali aggression more importantly.
Which makes sense due to the different nature of these gods, right? Hurriwind on the Raijin wants to dash in, get a good mez, and then explode his mark, and then just follow up with the ultimate and deal burst damage. Whereas Best wants to sit, 27 light years back and just hit from max range. Raijin looking to be a little bit more rough and tumble.
Especially when you have characters like Divios and DJ to play aggressive. On top of that, Aror, you can just sit in the back and throw out some crushes and roots. So we're going to start off the Gold Fury at the 13-minute mark, and Eager's going to spot it out.
I mean, this is, sometimes we say they're forcing the Gold Fury. This is SoaR forcing the Gold Fury. Everybody alive, everybody healthy, just starting the gold to see who's available and who's around.
They were looking to get an easy, clean pick onto Aror, trying to find the pluck. However, Aror did a good job countering that. Chaining the Sobek mid-dash was so clutch. Not getting knocked up was the Ares, and no follow-up available for Homiefe.
Divios giving chase to Baskin as both solo laners rotate a little bit closer to the mid lane. No root from TheBest, so Homiefe will be relatively safe.
Doing a good job juking. Baskin taking a little bit of poke, as we do have Homiefe from the backhand side. Going to absorb a lot of cooldowns. Divios might be in a little bit of trouble here.
A lot of bit of trouble as Hurriwind cleans him up for the 8th kill for SoaR. And SoaR certainly looking a little bit stronger here. Jigz into the ultimate. He's going to dash. And here comes Aror with the big ultimate. 3 pulled! And that's going to be huge damage out of the mid lane and the Hunter. Zapman gets the double kill. Best picks up 1 for himself. 3 dead off of a fantastic ultimate from the support on Eager. And they lose only 1, and it's Divios. Mid lane tower goes down. Eager are looking right at the Gold Fury.
Zapman taught Divios well with the tactical feeding, but it's not as good. You know, Zapman got five deaths, whereas Divios only got 3. Actually, it could be a 4th one, as the Sanctuary was used, and we do have a counter rotation. Eager gonna force the Gold Fury right now, 14-minute mark. Losing tier 1 mid tower, not as valuable as getting the Gold Fury in return.
8 to 8, read the kills, a 14 on the clock, and it looks like everything was even once before, and now Eager leading by about 1,500.
Right now at the 14.5-minute mark, this is not that big of a lead for Eager. However, as long as they're able to do the exact same thing that last engagement, then they're going to be able to get these team fights off in huge impact, getting more objectives further on.
And the exact same thing, I mean, really, what was it, the story of just getting rid of all the purification to allow Aror to have that huge setup? Or what really was the intricacies of that team fight that made Eager on top for the first time all game?
There was a lot of purifications down earlier on. We had DJ forcing some earlier on as well from the previous engagement, which set up the easy chain. And the fact that they all grouped up trying to kill Divios, which is what allowed Aror to get that quad pull into a 3-man actual pull and forcing more relics on the other side.
Just good capitalization from Eager. SoaR have pretty much been, it's interesting, Eager's been answering back in these team fights, but SoaR just in general looked a little bit stronger than Eager so far, all the way up until that one big bursty play, which, again, I think that's kind of SoaR and Eager in a nutshell. Right? SoaR gonna win. SoaR wins more of the team fights more consistently, but then Eager wins one with giant fireworks, and they're able to pick up a gold.
And that's benefiting off of the Doom Orb as well from Scylla, doing a good job utilizing that. The Kali working on her Fatalis, already having Chin Size online, going to be able to replicate what she was doing in the first game. Baskin's dash going to get intercepted by Divios as DJ's going to blink on in, forcing the ultimate from Baskin.
Great ultimate out of the solo laner, and now Baskin on the aggressive. Here's Homiefe, knock up into the pull. Divios ults, but it's not enough as Hurriwind over the wall. Fantastic play from the mid laner. Looking phenomenal is SoaR. They've got 4 on the right side of the map. Gold Fury already down, so it's not a concern, and we'll see the rest of SoaR push out this tier 1 tower on the right side. Aror comes in, grabs 3, gonna pull 1. There's the follow-up from the mid mage. It's the double kill. 1 for the mage, 1 for the jungler, and again, Eager with the return plays.
They need to be so careful with their positioning. They got the kill, but they keep on aggressing, and Eager doing a good job capitalizing. This time it was a 2-for-1, not a 3-for-1, so a little bit better for SoaR. But now they're going to be looking to play aggressive as Eager on the jungle side, maybe getting the mid tower in response.
Zapman's made the rotation in the mid lane. You can see Xbalanque going to respond in kind, but with a Kali and a Jing, this mid tower should go down extremely fast. You can see that 2 seconds or less. Mid tower, take it out. That's 500 gold into the pockets of Team Eager. And now SoaR playing defensive on the right side of the map. Going to push Aror out.
Tier 1 mid tower falling, Eager capitalizing on that power play. Now, Vamana, the way he's building right now is very offensive based, getting Transcendence after the Breastplate of Valor, looking to do as much damage as he can during his lifetime, and then baiting the members of SoaR. We mentioned how Hurriwind, the first game, he was that light compared to the Moths. And this time around, it's 2 ice already that Divios is baiting SoaR to group up next to him.
Yeah, we saw that. The last 2 exchanges where Aror winds up with too many pulls. I mean, Ares has always been thought of as the purification or the beads burner, right? You never actually get those pulls. This game, it's so different. Is that SoaR just not realizing that Auror's coming in, or is that Eager just playing very well?
Eager, it's a combination of both. And SoaR are going to have to realize that once the Ares is there, they have to respect that ultimate. Because even if they don't get pulled, the fact that three or four purifications are being burned every time he goes in, that's going to set up Eager for the next engagement, which is what they're actually looking for. Not the first one, the second one.
The follow-up, and it just so happens that things have been reversed for Eager. DJ's getting all the beads, and then Auror's getting the follow-up with the ultimate. So nice plays coming out from Eager combined. But SoaR, certainly no slouch themselves. They stretched the last game out pretty long. And I think a lot of people at home have this one down as a split. These teams are very evenly matched, and you're seeing that in all these team fights. Very rarely do you get the straight 3-0, 4-0. You're seeing all of these return kills. Such a treat to get to watch these guys on this Sunday.
And Eager with a lot of momentum compared to the way they started off this season. They started off 2-4, and before the set started, they were 11-1 going into the set. Now picking up the first win. Can they find a second one as well? They're riding off huge momentum wave currently, Eager is.
And you mentioned earlier, not in this broadcast, but multiple times in the past on Esports Weekly and other times, that Eager is a momentum-based team. Okay, what do you mean by that?
Their play style is they're very confident. So when they have that confidence and they're executing with the plays, they're just going to transition it into actual objectives and actual, tight and secures, and that's what they're just known to do. I mean, if they're struggling with their offensive plays and they're not getting anything in response, then that's when things kind of falter a little bit. But so far, it's been working out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you've played with Zapman for a number of years. Is this what you come to expect?
He's changed a lot from the earlier Zapman. He doesn't make those flashy plays anymore, diving the tier 2 tower or the Phoenix or the Titan or the Fountain. But he's been very, very patient with his new playstyle.
And still ever aggressive. Team Eager definitely going to keep their foot on the gas. But SoaR looking to accelerate a little bit themselves, turn directly towards the Gold Fury. Here comes Eager, though, looking for the fight. Homiefe going to use the Feather Step onto Divios. Again, the Vamana finds himself half HP. Aror giving chase to the left side, but two members trying to come around will get caught out. And Eager, in general, will push SoaR off of the Gold Fury into the left lane.
Eager needs to be very careful about these hallways because that's a prime target for Raijin's ultimate to come through.
There are a couple of characters that really make devastating use of the jungle. You're looking at Hoyi, you're looking at Mercury, and Raijin, certainly one of them. djpernicus zoning and trying to fight 2v1. Does have the ultimate available, but jumps into the mid lane after the purification is burned. And here comes Jigz into the ultimate. Eager now running away. Zapman going to be popped up and knocked up. There's the damage from the mid lane mage, and safely flying away is Jing. Aror grabs a couple. There's two pulled and one followed up, but Hurriwind finds the damage before TheBest does. Metyankey does as well. That's two dead on the side of Eager. No follow-up kills from the blue squad, and it looks like the Gold Fury going to fall down here. Best is around, no ultimate available. Throws out the Crush, throws out the Sick'em, and it's not going to be enough to steal the Gold Fury. DJ going to trade his life as well, unless he can find some kills of his own.
Trying to find a target. Does get the health reset as well.
And there he's going on Hurriwind, finding more. Sanctuary popped by the mid lane. It's not going to be enough. djpernicus finds two after the health reset. Huge boon for the jungler. The two return kills out of Eager after the Gold Fury go down ensure that Eager stay in the lead. 2,000, just shy of 2,000 gold, 1,500 on the side of Eager's lead.
We saw the graph spike back up, and now it's going back down into Eager's favor, taking the speed buff away from Homiefe. This is what you want as Kali, to be ahead of the enemy. Jungler is positioned in the mid game. Going to force a team fight, however.
Yeah, three members on top of djpernicus. No ultimate available as well. Neither is the purification, so the stun and done. Homiefe gets the credit for that one. 5-2-6 on the jungler now.
Getting a little bit too overzealous. Picked up the speed buff, wanted to keep going for the blue buff, should have known when to call it quits. However, Eager's going to try to respond on top of this. Maybe they might be able to pick off Baskin.
Baskin dashes away, nobody intercepting the dash. And with Jigz here, doesn't look like Eager's going to get too aggressive. SoaR go ahead and pick up tier 1 tower. So 500 more gold on the side of SoaR, edging ever close to Eager's current very small lead.
relatively close game so far. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. SoaR picking up the first goal. Fury Eager responding with one of their own, and now SoaR getting the second one, which was almost stolen too. That would have put Eager in a really good spot if that was stolen. However, with those 2 kills from djpernicus, he's slowly but surely building a nice lead on top of Homiefe. Unfortunately, that 1 death is going to slow things down and allow Homiefe to catch up.
Yeah, at that point, we saw DJ 2 levels above above Homiefe and quite a little bit of gold, but Homie was able to shut him down. DJ, though, I mean, that was SoaR. Up, down, left, right, BA start select. That was SoaR every way, shape, and form. But DJ able to turn that completely around. And again, that's DJ's aggression on the Kali character. This Kali Scylla combo, any team fight can turn in an instant, which is a lot of fun to watch.
Which is interesting to see because he's been playing a lot of circuits. We do have Zap getting ganked. He's not going to be able to get off his ultimate in time. Another stack onto Metyankey, his 4th one of the game so far.
So that 20 power going the way of Xbalanque as well. Very powerful. And SoaR's going to group up, head to the right side of the map, look for a pick, and then the Fire Giant possibly. Zapman's down for 45 seconds, so the Fire Giant will be started by SoaR. Rotations coming out from everybody alive on Eager, but it's a 4v5, keep in mind. Divios on the right, up in front is Aror, halfway down is a Fire Giant. Lurking on the left is TheBest, looking for the potential steal. Flip forward is Divios. There he is, attracting all the ire, but he's going to die before anything happens. Fire Giant still half HP. SoaR aggressing one more time. Hurriwind still has the ultimate available. That's the devastating part. TheBest on the other side, but DJ blinks forward, looking for the damage dealers, trying to take out Metyankey, but can't find the kill. Crowd control doing the ultimate, and there's the follow-up. DJ gonna fall. Homiefe with the kill, with the bowling ball. Front side, 2-on-2. Aror and TheBest take on Baskin and Jigz. Very taking targets, and Baskin deals the damage. Mid lane gonna fall as well. 3 dead on the side of Eager. No real contestation chance for the guys on Eager. SoaR win the team fight, and SoaR win the Fire Giant inevitably. And this is a fantastic set coming out from SoaR.
SoaR does secure the Fire Giant 24-minute mark. Zap was thinking about coming around the corner with Aror. They respected the fact that they were just too many members alive for SoaR to do anything about, and now they're going to lose a lot of towers in return. SoaR's going to establish themselves quite a hefty lead as long as they don't overcommit on any Phoenix.
So they're going to commit to the tier 2, no problem whatsoever. DJ will be up in about 5 seconds, no ultimate available. And he doesn't have the blink either. So a lot of what DJ's Kali has been able to bring will be neutralized here in this Phoenix fight. TheBest is going to spawn as well. Doesn't have his ultimate either. Divios trying to play as much defense as he can, but again, already brought down 25%. SoaR not going to be able to take out the Phoenix, and now they're on the retreat. Good defense coming out from Team Eager.
I like the idea that SoaR had using the Darkest of Nights just for the range distance, so you're not overextending into the Phoenix circle. You're just outside the circle, still chopping away at the middle. Phoenix able to get it down to about half health. Not going to be able to find it, however, as Eager holds off really well.
And a lot of that had to do with Divios going up into the big baby form and absorbing a lot of those basics coming out.
The hitbox does get a little bit bigger as well, so it makes it more difficult for Metyankey to find those in-hands, especially when you're you're positioning yourselves between the Phoenix and Metyankey.
Yeah, just playing goalie there is Divios. Good stuff coming out from the solo laner, level 19 in comparison to level 20 on Amaterasu. Amaterasu has had the better hand here. Divios, not his strongest game. 1-6-2 on this Vamana. Just really, he got punished for not building the early teleport early on in the game, and that wound up being a Gold Fury going the way of SoaR, as SoaR pick up another tier 1 tower pretty much for free. And Divios has since suffered because of some of the choices that he's made.
He's thinking more offensively early game with the Transcendence, not building that height of the Urchin earlier on, not respecting the magic damage coming out of both Jigz and Hurriwind. You just have to be also careful. Now, it was working at first because he was banning a lot of members from SoaR to crowd around him, which allowed Aror to follow up. However, as the game progresses later on, he's just going to get bursted before anybody can position themselves to clean up.
And if Divios wants to be this lightning rod that you were talking about, the build certainly isn't putting him in his position to do that. Breastplate and the Urchin are very tanky, but the Urchin doesn't have many stacks on it. In fact, it has 0, so he's not able to really take all that damage. We're seeing Divios initiate and then just sort of falter.
Yeah, he would be better off with the Bulwark of Hope, honestly.
So SoaR go ahead and pick up the Gold Fury. That's going to put them even more so in the lead. 6,000 gold for SoaR. Eager won game 1, and SoaR do not want to let this one go.
This game is far from over, however. You always have to worry about the late game Kali and the late game Scylla. Like you mentioned before in the first game, they always have that snowball potential. You get one kill, the second kill is right around the corner, and SoaR has to respect that fact.
And we saw that coming out from djpernicus early in this match. We saw that from Scylla a number of times last match, as well as the Kali as well. You know, these characters just single-handedly turn the tides of team fights. So SoaR always have to be aware of that. But right now, they're sitting very comfortably in the lead, and they're looking very strong.
And they're trying to build up more of a gold lead as they're pushing this tier 2 tower on the solo lane side. Their Fire Giant's still available to them for about 40 more seconds. And off of this, they're going to probably back and buy and position themselves for the next Fire Giant.
All towers taken off of the board by SoaR. Eager do not have any structures that aren't a Phoenix. Teleport from Baskin as he goes and defends the mid lane tower that's being aggressed on. It looks like Divios by himself trying to take out the tower. Not going to happen. Finds a knock-up, dash forward as Baskin trying to follow up. Slow is going to be immune by the ultimate, and ult for ult. Divios up into the big baby. Here comes Jigz, though, for the rotation. Sickening strike, going to cut the healing, but everybody from Eager is here. Collapsing on the 2. Homiefe in the back. Eager playing it still safe, understanding that SoaR not too far in the wings. Aror and Divios on the left side. Stands still for a moment. Gets plucked. There's the ult. Died before the pull. Baskin, credit for that one off of everybody on the side of SoaR. It's a 5v4.
Even though you're a Guardian with a lot of defensive items, when you're 5 against 5 members from SoaR, especially on Hurriwind's Raijin doing a lot of damage, there's no way you're going to survive.
SoaR don't have the Fire Giant any longer, but they're still pushing down this left Phoenix. 50 gold in the pocket of Hurriwind as he takes down the ward placed by Zap. And SoaR with the numbers advantage, just going to hard push onto this Phoenix. They've got 7,000 gold above their opposition. Leading the charge is Baskin. Here comes the basic set of Metyankey and Hurriwind staring at the objective. And there's Hurriwind providing the peel for his teammates by way of damage. Divios going to fall down thanks to the ult from Hurry. And they're going to shift over to the mid lane.
And left side Phoenix does fall without Fire Giant. Hurriwind looking to dash in, potentially does dash. Not going to be able to follow up with any damage. Going to get hit by the Scylla. I'm a monster. Zapman's in a lot of trouble. He falls to Metyankey.
Metyankey gets another stack, 6 in total, so he's capped out his passive. Aror now dishing out some chains, finding one onto Aror. The flip back into the members of SoaR. A lot of damage coming out, and one more time, as quickly as he spawned, Aror will fall down. Jigz gets credit for that. The second kill for the support on the side of SoaR. Now we've got 3 members down on Eager. This is an easy Phoenix, so we're going to take this one out. Typewriter, left, mid, right, Jing.
So far, 3 members are dead for Eager. This should be a very easy siege. Metyankey wanted to play aggressive, the rest of SoaR thinking otherwise. Now, they're able to be more successful without Fire Giant than with Fire Giant just because of the fact that they were able to pick off Aror earlier on in that exchange, as well as Divios having to use his ultimate. There wasn't much defense available for Eager.
Yeah, nobody's able to defend here on the right side as we see Eager coming out of the base. Thought about chasing, but just not going to be in the cards. SoaR now with all the Phoenixes down on the side of Eager. Tons of pressure being pushed into the base. SoaR have the upper hand when it comes to the Fire Giant.
Eager's thinking about playing very aggressively here. They do have the respawn. Zapman's going to leave the wave to be dealt with Aror as they want to be able to sneak this Fire Giant, recognizing that SoaR have to back here. And if Eager's able to take away this Fire Giant, that's going to delay SoaR a little bit.
Homie sees it on the Awilix. Not the same type of carry potential as the Kali, but still can totally delete the right character. 25% on the Fire Giant already. Beautiful knockup. Divios going to be using the ultimate. Baskin on a killing spree, but Fire Giant leashed, and Divios picks up 1 kill. It's 1 for 1 at the moment, 4v4. Jigz now aggressing onto the Divios, as you see Baskin on the top side of your screen aggressing as well. Divios trying to find a way out. Crit is strong from Metyankey, and the flip is enough. Basic out of Jigz, and that'll confirm the kill onto the solo laner. Best trying to escape, cannot get rid of the Amaterasu. Aror as well trying to escape. The pings coming out. The Titan very low for Eager, already down to half HP.
And with that, 3 members dead for Eager. Yet again, 4 members stand strong for SoaR. They're looking for a split on this set, which is very crucial to remain tied with enemy.
Oh, wow. There's the Titan taking a lot of damage. 1,500 damage, and it's very close to low. 0. SoaR find a couple of picks as Eager try to sneak out a Fire Giant, and it does not prove fruitful. This one goes a split between SoaR and Eager.
Just to show you how close they actually are. Both Eager and SoaR so close. All 4 members, including Luminosity and Enemy, are just so close together in the NA standings.
So that Fire Giant call ultimately loses the game for Eager, but at the same time, I kind of like it. How do you feel about that, Coach
It's
Dolly?
a very aggressive Zapman call. When you're behind that much, you have to look for something back in return. SoaR was a little bit low, and they were a little bit out of position. So as long as Eager was able to capitalize on that fact, whether or not they got the Fire Giant or a pick or two, it would have maybe allowed Eager to come back into the game. Because if SoaR just got Fire Giant for free anyway, Eager would have lost regardless.
Right.
So you had to try to make that play.
So you always got to try to look for those plays, whether it's in the end of the game or the beginning of the game. First Blood was a lot of fun for those involved. We saw this one go the way of Homiefe, just catching players out.
Yeah, Zapman was playing very aggressively here. He gets caught out of position, and the rest of SoaR taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, that just spills to death for Zapman. You saw the rotation from mid lane come all the way over, and that was a big part of what was able to happen. We've got a treat for you today. We've got the guys from Eager, but we've got 2. We've got the Chunk himself, Chunkmaster Lee. It's Aror, the support, and then we also have the jungler, djpernicus. How you doing, guys?
Hey, DJ's not here, it's just me.
All right, well, it's just Aror. So, what's up, Chunk? How you doing, buddy?
Sorry to disappoint everybody. What's
It's
up,
never a
everybody?
disappointment hearing your voice. How you
Nah,
doing,
Roar,
Aror?
you're one of the more enthusiastic guys. Love having you on the show. Talk to me a little bit about the feeling at the end of game number 2 when you guys go for the Fire Giant.
Yeah, we knew that the game was probably over because they had 3 Phoenixes, and we needed to make some miraculous play to get back into the game. So we thought our best opportunity to get back into the game was just go for a Fire Giant and try to snag it before they got back to defend it.
I like the call. Didn't work out, but it was a lot of fun to watch. Just flat out, how much fun were you guys having? Because you guys seem to be having a lot of fun with these team fights.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, those games. They were really good games between both teams.
Yeah, you guys are very evenly matched. Cutting into DreamHack, you're really fighting for that spot. How do you feel about your future schedule and how powerful you guys can be?
We're feeling really confident. We're definitely going to keep trying to work towards the first seed. I don't know if we'll get it, but I think we put ourselves in a really good position to at least make it to land, if not get first seed.
So you've been running a lot of Scylla on the best, and now you ran Xing Wei. Getting countered a little bit by the Awilix that second game. Is that something that you're looking forward to try to figure out how to play around, or are you going to keep sticking to your guns?
Yeah, well, they had some pretty good picks. I feel like we misplayed and made some really silly mistakes in the game. Like, I had that play at the end where I beads Sobek pluck while I was in the air. That was terrible. Because the thing is, I didn't use my beads all game, so I forgot I had them. I'm not even joking. And I remembered mid-air and I beads, and it was so bad. That was the first time, I'm pretty sure, that I beads the entire game. But yeah, and then there was like some silly mistakes with us warding that got us picked off, which gave them advantages, which I think we could clean up and definitely look to play better and more cleanly.
Well, I'm glad that, as a player on the team, that you're focusing on the negatives, but why don't we brighten up the room and kind of focus on that game 1? I mean, so much dominance coming out of you guys. You guys won with a gigantic lead. What do you really think was the win condition? How do you think you found that win?
Yeah, we were just able to get early buffs, and then we were just able to snowball off that, which really helped us get our lead and win the game.
And specifically about that start, we saw you guys start at mid camps or whatnot. How can you break that down for us?
We were just trying to respond to how the enemy was starting, basically.
Makes sense. Always adapting. You have any more questions for the Chunk?
Yeah, how are the comms normally in the Eager squad? Was it you singing "Why You Always Die" into Zap after the first blood?
Not this game, but in ranked for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And just piggybacking off of that, there's a lot of leaders, there's a lot of loud people on, or a lot of headstrong people on the squad. How do you guys make that work in the craziness of competitive?
Yeah, at first it was hard, and then we kind of all got used to each other, and we really figured out how we wanted to communicate and stuff in comms. And it's really DJ and Zap making the big shot calls. I mean, like the shot calls, like for objectives and stuff. We're not really. They're not talking as much in fights. It's me and Divios in fights more, and they're making the big like objective calls and what we're going to do in the game and stuff like that. So they're both really good leaders, and DJ's really, really smart with some of the calls he makes.
Yeah, I think you can definitely see as the season went on how you guys developed and sort of expanded on what you guys have had as far as chemistry is concerned. Before we let you go, any shout-outs you have to give to anybody at home?
Yeah, shout outs to Eager. They're the best. Shout outs to all my teammates. Shout out to Best for being a fathead. And shout out to Smite for being Smite.
Hell yeah. Chunk, chunk, chunk. That's the chunk master himself. It's Roar, the support. Thank you so much for joining us. Support from Eager. Very well done. They split down the line with SoaR, which should have an impact on the North American standings. SoaR going to sit at #1 uncontested with 17 wins. Enemy will have 16 right behind them. And Team Eager, 14-6.
Right behind them, Luminosity at 12-10. So Luminosity are going to have to make quite a run if they want to get themselves into that third spot. They're a few games behind Eager as well, so we'll see.
Should be fun watching these guys. SoaR versus Eager was certainly a treat. We'll take a look at some of the games that we see tomorrow on Monday. We'll have Team Allegiance versus the Randozos, as well as Paradigm taking on Leftovers.
Paradigm going to need to establish themselves more wins if they want to secure their spot into DreamHack.
Paradigm have looked absolutely on fire. This is a squad that generally will pick it up towards the end of the season. They're veterans. They know what it takes to get to LAN. Fantastic sets today. We had some of the more exciting games, all split, SoaR versus Eager. What's your lasting impression on the games we saw today, man?
It was just so close between the two of them. The first game was pretty dominant by Eager, and then the second game very dominant by SoaR. So this could be a little preview from DreamHack, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of these guys, as we're certainly seeing a lot of you guys, and I hope to see you tomorrow as well. For everybody here at hi-rez Studios, myself, Anatoly, my other co-casters, and of course Peckies, we'll see you tomorrow here on hi-rez TV.